Hello fans, geeks, and nerds everywhere. This is your friendly neighborhood bearded vet. My name is Daniel, as it says in the intro, and this is the Myriasphere origins. You know, I've had people ask me what exactly that is. I kind of talked about it. It's the name of my book series, but I kind of want to make a video on what I hope this actually becomes. And I've been talking to my brother, and we're talking about bringing on Simply Will, who's my cousin, onto it as well. Have him help us too. And I'm not a professional writer. It's actually my worst subject. But in these last 5 or 6 years, in the last 10 years really, we've watched industries that we've loved, franchises we love die. And like so many others, I was just, lost. And then right after The Force Awakens, and when I got confused of why Jaina and Jason weren't on the big screen for my kids to be able to watch, like I read in the books, and then I went and found YouTubers, and I found out they weren't planning on doing it. They weren't planning on following the books, which kind of broke my heart. The U was one of my favorite book series growing up. That and Narnia were like the two things that I had with my father that we spent time reading together and loving. All the boys in my family, I should say, loved. And it was sad to see that I couldn't have my kids experience that. And then the sequel trilogy was absolute trash after Last Jedi and the Rise of Palpatine were absolute trash. And then they went for Star Trek, and then they went for Doctor Who, and so many others that we really enjoyed kept dying, one after another after another. And I've been watching YouTube since around that time, since around The Force Awakens. I've been paying attention to Geeks and Gamers, and then I found Gary for Nerd Erotic. Then I found Doomcock, and I found so many others, and I'm now meeting even more YouTubers that I didn't know about that I'm following. Dark Council, all these people, the Phantom Menace, and a Phantom in general. Sorry for the noise. There's a truck outside. But I wanted to make a video where I just talk about my hopes and dreams for the Myriasphere. Right now, it is the name of the book series. It's at the beginning. It'll be probably a 4-book series, and then I'll expand it to probably 7 now, since I'm making an extra one. And then I'm hoping, if it makes enough money, if it becomes popular enough, if the book series becomes as popular as I hope it does, you never know. My expectations is I'm putting my best efforts. People love it, they love it. They don't, they don't. I can just do my best work and have, my brothers help me edit it and help me delve deeper. And my cousin Will, he's a very big fantasy lover. He's helping me also now. And so we're trying to help each other just build something new. That's the whole thing for the Myriasphere. It's really loud. Let's give it a second. I expect they're almost done. I hope. Don't you love that? If I could edit it out, I would. But I have no idea how to do that. There we go. So, okay. But the Myriasphere, I hope, becomes a fan organization. And I hope it grows. My plan is to, if the books become popular enough, if I make enough money from the books, I'm going to use some of that money to create a comic line. Not for me, but I want to hire like Comic Gates guys. I could give them, hey, this is the story that I'm working on. I have all these other characters. I think it would be cool if you guys could do a book line, either a prequel, or you can do, offshoot to some of the characters, maybe, or follow the main story. If they think that they can make a good comic to follow along with the story as a graphic novel, fantastic, you know. And I would hire them, and they would draw, and they would help me write it and put it into your guys' hands. And then if it becomes even more popular, I do want to, you know, get like customized collectibles and stuff like that for like characters and like statues. Maybe even a board game would be fucking cool. I think this universe would work pretty well as a board game, but I'm getting ahead of myself. You know, everybody who creates wants something to become awesome, and the main thing I want it to become is a place fans can go. They can send their work, and I thought about it. You know, people can write books that go into my universe. Like, let's say they want to create, you know, a race that is in a different galaxy, but still have a little bit of what's going on in the entire Myriasphere, enter it. And if they would send it to me, I would read it. If I approved of it, I would print it. I would help them print it. Yes, I want to do that, but I also want to do something else. What if I was talking to my brother about this, and if we decide we might make this the actual company, it's a small company, nothing big, and if it keeps getting popular, my brother's dream is to open a gaming cafe in Kansas City, Missouri. That's his dream for a long time, is to have a gaming cafe, like, you know, that they got lots in like Japan and stuff like that. And I thought it'd be cool if it grew big enough. If this name becomes something on a lot of fandom's lips, I would help him by creating that gaming cafe with him under the name the Myriasphere, and it would be our main base. But that's down the road, you know, way down the road. But it would be. I told him it would be cool if we had like a little book area and a comics area and a collectible area, and then have an entire floor designated to like game, because he wants to do a lot. He wants to have his own EA gaming lab kind of thing where people come and they want to do competitional gaming, and they have a team and stuff that does competition gaming. And I thought that'd be really cool, because we're all geeks. We're all game lovers, movie lovers, TV lovers, book lovers. We love good stories. We love good characters. It's all we want. Is a place where we can feel that we can go that has good characters, good stories, and that we don't get attacked because of some stupid politics. And I was talking to him about that it'd be really cool if that was like an area. We have a place that like a bottom floor. Let's say we get a 2-story building or something. This is like way down the road. This is just us, you know, for dreaming. This is a dream. And the top floor is all gaming. From PlayStation, Xboxes, to Nintendos, to everything. And people come, they, you know, may have like membership or something. I don't know. We'd have to figure all of it out, because I've never run a business. He's done all kinds of different stuff, but that's his dream. And I'd like to see it come to pass, because I think Kansas City could use a really good gaming center. And so it would become underneath the Myriasphere. And then I would open up the bottom floor for, like, have a comic book section, which only holds comic gates, guys. It would have, you know, shelves of comic gate books. That's it. No mainstream books whatsoever. None. I will never hire Marvel, DC, or anybody. No mainstream, period. Sucks. I know there's some good mainstream guys, but the way they attack fans, I will never hire anyone who attacks a fan. That would be my number one rule. I'd come into work every day, and you'd have to say, you know, we'd all have like a little chant saying, why are we here? We're here for the fans. Who will we support? We will support the fans. We will work hard for the fans. We will. That's the whole point of this. I want this to become a fan thing, run by a fan, for fans. Period. And it would be cool to have like a section where they have like a gaming tables, like, you know, for Warhammer, for, you know, all that kind of stuff. Card tables for those guys who like to play Magic, and then an area that is have a table and a bunch of chairs, like an auditorium, like a little auditorium, where other authors, small-time authors, can come and sign their books for the fans, and have, and if it gets, I don't know how big this is going to get, but I think that'd be cool. Just hey, you call us, be like, hey, we'd like to come up, we'd like to present our book at a signing, and put it on our YouTube channels, the Twitters. If this thing becomes popular, I want it to become a thing where it's all about the fans. It's not about me. Yeah, I'm the main creator, but it's when it becomes popular, I don't want to be, hey, look, it's Daniel from Myriasphere, how great I am. No, it's gonna be, all right, the books. It's all about the characters, not about me. It's about the fans, and it's about the creations. And then have books, all the novel section of all, like the Fandom Menace. There's a lot of authors, upcoming authors of the Fandom Menace. I would love to have like a section of books just for them. And this is far off. I know, I get it that things have to blow up. So I'm a realist also, so I understand that the book has to be good enough for this to happen, and that's what I'm working on right now. I have high hopes. The story I have in mind, I think, will become extremely popular. I think it could become very fantastic, and then it become even more like, yeah, my main core books might become really popular, but then someone else could come around, hook up with a Myriasphere, and be like, hey, I want to make 6 books, but I want to do it in my own universe. I want to do it in my own. I'll be like, you know what? All right, we'll promote you. And we'll promote them, and then they'll become bigger than us. That's fine. I have no problem with anybody becoming bigger than my platform. I'm not, as Gary and all those guys say, they're not competing with us. We're not competing with each other. I'm in their community. Like, I'm part of their community. I want that community to be able to come to a place, in the middle of fucking country and have a good time. Because Missouri, yeah, we have what we have. And it'd be cool to be able to have events, and I can travel and meet everybody and all that stuff. But I got kids. I'm a busy man. I have a wife. I'm married. I have 4 kids, 2 stepkids, 2 daughters of my own. So life is hectic, and that's fine. And I just hope this becomes popular. It'll help not only my life get to a place that's far more stable, but it will. The only reason I did this is because I believe that there's a thirst in the community for something new, something great, and that's what I want to bring. And then I want to make an area where not only can not on YouTube, not on Twitter, not on all this stuff where people can meet, but in real life where people can go, geek out, have fun, playing games, reading books, reading comics, talking about different comics. But that's my dream for the Myriasphere. My ultimate goal is to make this a geekdom, its own, not a movement, but its own new franchise. And if it does, it does. It doesn't. I tried, did my best, but it doesn't mean I'm going to give up. I'm going to write all my books, even if they don't become as popular as I've hoped. First book will be coming out hopefully December, and the next book within that year, and then hopefully every year. It matters on like how much I can get written and edited and out each time, because I don't plan on stopping. I plan on getting the first book done, part A technically, then part B done, and then keep going. Like as soon as they're done and they start selling, I'm already writing the third book. I'm already writing the 4th book. Technically, I'm already writing part 2, which I almost had most of it. So I'm just expanding it into an actual book, a full book by itself. And I love it. I love actually writing out this story, and I'm really all I could think about. You know how crazy it is when all you could think about is one thing? Yeah. Because it used to be I would hear about a video game or a TV show or a movie coming out, and I'm like, all I could think about is that movie. Man, I hope that movie's good. I can't wait. 6 months from now? Damn. 3 years from now, crap. You know, and then I'll be like trying to play another game, and all I can think about is that game. It's what it's like for writing this book. I will sit down and I'll do something else. I'll be trying to play a game on my PlayStation, or I'll try to play a game on my computer, and all I'm thinking about is my characters in the book, and I have to put it down because I'm like, damn it. And I have to go back to looking over my book, reading it, trying to figure out what I can add, you know, stuff like that. It's fun. I enjoy it. You know, I've never was a writer. I always hated writing classes, and I was horrible at it. But that's the beautiful thing about having a good editor and someone you know who's not afraid to tell you, that's not working, you need to do this, maybe improve on this. I'm like, okay. And now we have invited my cousin on. He's very linguistic, I should say. So he's going to really help us make sure it's readable. He's going to make sure it really delves into what we should delve into. Make sure that the dialogue is really good between the different characters. And yeah. And then hopefully my uncle, he is the one who's working. I know this is a lot of my personal family, but I'm just trying to get, you know, my uncle is a decent artist. He's a pretty good artist. And he's working on the characters right now. And you know, as soon as I get the characters' designs done, and I can look them over, and if it's to what I have pictured in my mind, as close to it as I can, I will get either him to create the cover, or unless he's too busy. If he says he's too busy, I will go and look up. I'll talk to some of the guys within the fandom. It'd be cool to have them help me do a cover. This is not a comic book. This is a novel right now. Comic books, I'm letting the Comics Gate take over that. Pretty much, I'm like, hey, this is what my story is. These are the characters. This is kind of where I see them going. Have at it. And I want to see what they can come up with. And I think it'd be really cool. There's some of the comics. There's a lot of demons and angels and stuff in my stuff. So it'd be really interesting to see where a Comics Gate guy who's really good at drawing and art could take some of these stories, because they could go creepy and really cool. And I think it'd be awesome to see these worlds come to life in a novel like that. But you know, that's what I got. So just me talking about the book, where I want it to go. I guess I could actually put in a little bit description about the book. The book is based on how do I word this? As I was growing up, I was a pastor's kid. I've said this before, but there's always been a question in my mind: what tempted Satan? Think about it. If you actually think about it, the Bible talks about that there is no sin in heaven, but yet somehow Satan allowed pride to enter his heart that made him want to become God, and that's what turned God away from him. But what was it that turned Satan? Was it just Satan himself, or was there a force behind him that was trying to get him? So that was a question at the base of my mind. Plus, there's another question: are we alone in the universe? And as a Christian, I am a Christian. I'm a non-denominational Christian. So I don't really, and I don't really go to church anymore, which just kind of sucks, because I don't know. I got tired of the inner politics of church, because there are politics in church. Trust me, there are people who've been there a long time who believe that they have the right over the. I'm not getting into that. I'm not touching that. Back to my story. Anyways, so in my book, there's actually a force that, when God separates light and darkness, there's another force in the universe that's not. God is light and God is life. The darkness is his opposite. His yin to his yang, you know, yin, however that works. Pretty much, he is the light, it is the darkness. It is not a sentient being in a way. It has one desire: to be alone in the universe with God and to destroy all life, period. It wants to be with God absolutely alone. It's its only desire. And it will twist and it will turn anything it can use to become that goal. And so my story turns out that some of the angels went to destroy the darkness, and in the end they got corrupted. And when they tried to return to heaven, God made Michael discard them. And so they became the demons and the demon armies and so forth. But they no longer were just spirits, because the angels and God are in a spiritual realm, an entire different plane of existence than us in the physical realm. But when the demons became twisted, they are no longer just spiritual beings, they are also physical beings. So God needs an ability, because eventually, spirits can't always save the physical realm. So he needs somebody who can fight in the physical realm. So God decided to create a shield, because the darkness is on one side of the multiverse, the Myriasphere, and God's on the other. All life comes from when God, pretty much how God created the universe in my story is when he said, let there be light, an explosion of life energy just exploded out of him. And that explosion of energy, of pure life energy that flows from God, is what created everything, all life in the universe. Only very few worlds have God handcrafted and handcrafted its people. Very few, less than a hand. And the human race is one of them, but they're on this side. So the story is not about the human race. Human race will have impact on the Myriasphere, but this is about the other side of the universe, where the darkness lies. And it is consumed at this point a full galaxy, and it's spreading, and God needs to, he decides it's time to stop its spread, or it will destroy all life. It needs to be balanced. So God creates physical beings. He takes the feathers of two of his mightiest archangels, Michael and Raphael, and he creates the archangels, he creates the Kundo and Igno. Those are the two main races of my book. Later they also discover dwarves, and other races will also join in, but those are the main two races. The Kundo are from Michael, the Igno are from Raphael. And they did this so that they would become the shield. So he calls the planet Milan. Milan is where, excuse me for 1 second. Sorry about that. But he creates Milan. It's a world where these people can live. It's a lot more, kind of a harsher environment than we have here. So that people grow strong, and they're also have the DNA of archangels. And the Kundo, they kind of represent elves in a way. They have pointy ears like an elves will, but the Kundo are physical powers. Because they're from Michael, who is the archangel of war, they have the innate ability to enhance their own physical powers. Pretty much they can enhance their muscles, they can enhance their lung capability just by thinking of it. They can enhance, different parts of their body at a time to do certain things. They're a very physical race. They're strong, they're bold. They do most of the armies, most of the farming, most of the mining, and most of the blacksmithing. They are those kind of people. And you'll and the Igno are kind of the opposite. They are the wise. They are the scientifical brains of Milan. Since Raphael is the archangel of knowledge, their whole basis is on study, research, They do a lot of scientific work. They do a lot of technological stuff. They also have an innate ability to affect the elements around them. They can control elements. Pretty much, it's like they could change certain elements around them to better than. They're not a physical being, but they're outward. So they're very elemental based. They can affect life. They can help heal. They can help grow things. They can put their hands on things and pour life into it, letting things grow. They can pull energies from around them to help them do certain things. So they're kind of like the mages of the race, pretty much. There's no such thing as magic in Malan. It's not called magic. It's called life elements. And life is a very important thing to the people of Malan. Because they are so... when God created Malan, he took a seed, he attached it to his very life force. And when he planted it, it became the God tree, is what it's called in Malan. And it is massive. It's a tree that grew as tall as the outer atmosphere of their planet. It's a massive tree. The roots go throughout the planet, to the very planet's core, to the oceans, to the deserts, through everywhere. These massive roots grew. And because it's attached to God's life force, his very pure life energy flows into the tree, and from the tree flows into the ground, to the earth, to the waters, to the soils, to everything. So everything is enhanced to the top level. So creatures grow bigger, plants grow exponentially. So the people eat and they grow and they're strong and they're bold, but they've also been raised by the archangels. So their entire society is pure almost. They have no war. They have no pains. They have no sicknesses. They're enhanced technologically by the archangels, so that they can travel. They also have the ability, because the archangels raised them personally. They were able to perfectly balance technology and nature. So, like the main city where most of the people live, there's a massive city. It's called Harmony City, and it's called this is because literally within the city you see trees growing out of buildings. You'll see it's built into nature. There's a massive God's forest around it, and it's perfectly imbalanced with nature. And the way I want to do it in the book, I have it a lot better described. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see some. I want to get some artwork for it, because that'd be fucking cool. So it's going to be sci-fi and fantasy mixed in the most purest form. And these people, they've had hardships though. The creatures are no joke on this planet. If you're not careful, they will kill you. But they're still strong enough, and they're still balanced enough that they acknowledge this, and they know. And there's different clans, because there's one king. I will tell you about him. His name is High King Therios, and he is an immortal king. He was the first son of Michael, the firstborn of Malan, and God saw great wisdom in him, and so he, as long as he doesn't die physically, either by poisoning or by combat, he will live forever. And so he has been personally raised, and then he helped establish the clans, which there's 6 different clans within the book. We'll talk about that later. I don't want to take the video too long because people won't watch it. But the whole ideal of it is eventually something's going to happen. The archangels will be gone. It will affect them horribly. They will be lost for a while. They'll have to find their place after the archangels and the angels are just gone. One day, just poof. And then they have to figure out, okay, what is our place in the universe? And then they're going to meet the darkness. And the darkness is going to go full on at them. And they're going to, and then throughout the books, they realize, they remember God's words to them that they are the shield. So their job is not to destroy the darkness, but to keep it at bay. And so that's what they're going to do through the books, is try to go into the darkness worlds and try to take those worlds and push the darkness back to its core, and then hopefully hold it there, because they know they cannot win, but they cannot allow it to spread. And so, this whole time throughout our history, it'll have a little bit of human history that affects it. So it's like fantasy, as if we're still here, but this is all happening while we're here. We just don't know about it. So I think it's gonna be kind of interesting to put that in there. But yeah. Anyways, that's all I'll talk about today. It's already past 30 minutes, and I could go on for hours. I'm not a professional salesman, so I know EBS can knock out this book as the best-selling thing ever, but I just hope it brings joy to people. I want it to bring something new to the fandom, as I've said. All right, but you guys, please like, subscribe, share. Just hit me up whenever you guys can. If you have interest in putting me on live streams with you, I would love to join anyone and everyone I can to either talk about my book or talk about other stuff, TV shows, movies, just some fun stuff. All right. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and be good to each other. All right. Bye.